Hey y'all, Indy here from the Conscious Club Podcast, the #1 podcast on Vulfpeck. This week, Tori and I look at Corey Wong's new music video. It is such a tearjerker. Today I'm going to give myself a real job, more like today I'm going to give myself a real cry. You know what I mean? Other notable mentions, Corey Wong was featured on another podcast, Andy Frasco's World Saving Podcast. I took a couple snippets from there to spur some conversation for this podcast. Also, we dive into the pack, we dive into notable mentions, we've rounded out with funny funk. It is going to be a great week, an awesome week for the Conscious Club Podcast.
Beautiful. Oh, kind of like that mystery ending.
Fuck.
Fuck. Beautiful.
Welcome, everybody. It is the Conscious Club Podcast.
We're here.
It's a podcast about Vulfpeck, about the Vulfpeck. It is a living, breathing organism, and much like how we are wrong a lot, that's going to happen. It's going to happen. We are curators of content. No. It's TCCP, and TCCP stands for some things other than the Conscious Club Podcast. Correct. We are treasurers of talent.
We are.
We are curators of controversy.
We are.
We are creators of content.
Very true.
And we are purveyors of podcasts.
We are.
Okay? That's
We're
TCCP. Here. That's right. We're here. We're doing it. You're having a Whole Foods plant-based drink, and I am not.
Speaking of living organisms, got some kombucha here, probiotics,
got the
good
mother.
Bacteria for the gut.
Got the mother in you?
Got the mother in me.Got that SCOBY a-poppin'.
That SCOBY just
Crackle,
flowing.
snap, crackle, pop up in here.
Right, and I just got, aspartame after maltodextrin after cinnamolactin after, yeah.
It's basically 6 list of chemicals, but...
Yeah, not proud of it.
Not
proud of it. But welcome, guys.
Hey.
Usually we start with a little piece of music or something to enter, but we don't need to do that every time.
Oh.
This is the Conscious Club Podcast
We
about
celebrate
Vulfpeck.
Diversity here on the Conscious Club Podcast.
Right. Celebrated.
Diversity of intros.
Yes. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for all that you do. We are here to stay. We are going to be consistent. We're going to do it. We're bringing Vulfpeck content to you in a digestible way each week. We're taking the things from the pack that are meaningful, inspirational, funny, notable, and bringing them to you so you don't have to scour through the pack if you're not super active on Facebook or what have you, or even if you are in the Facebook group and the Reddit group and all that stuff. You'll be able to come here and get a little bit more Vulf in your life, because I think that's we're all dying for it, because Jack is I think we can use the scarcity, the shepherd of scarcity, not necessarily the shepherd of greatness.
That's what Stratton S is for.
Right. I think he's the alliterative Andy, but the shepherd of greatness, great term, but it's not alliterative. He is the shepherd of scarcity. And with that, but enough about Jack. We will be talking about Jack in the context of Corey Wong later on in the show. But this week, a very, very beautiful addition to the Vulf sphere is Corey Wong's new video. Today I'm going to get myself a real job.
I already feel tears welling up in my eyes, actually.
Yeah.
You guys, I might cry when I watch this. I don't know why. I think I might.
I would be lying if I say I didn't cry
I'm
or
already
shed
getting
a tear.
tears in my eyes.
Right. So
just thinking about it.
But this is what we do. We're purveyors of podcasting, and we are engineers of emotions, right?
That seems a little bit mechanical.
Okay.
Engineer emotions.
We engineer emotions here on the Conscious Club Podcast. Cry now, please. But let me start this QuickTime screen recording so I could actually produce the show correctly. And
I love when you do your Kronk's new groove voice.
Squick. Hey. But
Job snatched.
what is his name? Do you know his name?
I have no idea what that actor's name
It's
actually
not
is.
Warburton, is it?
Oh, it might be.
Patrick Warburton.
Yeah.
No. Who's Kronk? We're going to figure this out before we get into the show here.
You know, important things here on the
Kronk.
Conscious Club podcast.
Patrick Warburton. That's his name. Yes, he's also in the sitcom, which didn't really get that much acclaim, which is called Rules of Engagement with David Spade.
Yeah, I did
Right.
hear about that show.
Yeah, it's kind of like a How I Met Your Mother knockoff, even though it's in its own right a different show, but nonetheless not Vulf adjacent. Right. So Patrick Warburton, look out! I'm gonna be taking your job soon.
My favorite is when he does I know this is not Vulf related, but he does the introduction for when you're standing at the Ride Soren. Do you remember?
Oh, he does. I do remember that.
He's like, we're going to take you on a trip around the world, and everyone put those little puppies away. Like, you're like a little head, your little Mickey ears.
Yeah, he's precious. He's talking to his squeak squeaker crowd there.
Yeah.
But anyway, Patrick Warburton, look out. I'm coming out. But for today, it is a bunch of Corey stuff that we're going through, a bunch of the pack stuff, and also a learning lesson from Jack Stratton. Oh. Which I may have to change the angle of the camera for it to work, or because it's basically Jack explaining how to do the animal spirits stomp.
Oh, okay.
That thing, so which he teaches you how to do step by step, which I want to do, and I don't know if we want to do together, or you just man the camera and we figure it out that way, or you narrate what I'm doing. But I think at that point in the show, it's going to be an interactive moment for both you and me. We're going to figure it out together.
All right.
But first,
I feel like you're going to do way better than me, but
100%.
Prepped and primed. This guy's been practicing this for weeks, and he just hasn't told me. You did it perfectly just now.
I found it this morning.
You literally just did it perfectly for that introduction.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, that's already it. This guy's the
Renaissance
man.
Clap. It's like,
see, this guy's the Renaissance man of rhythm over here.
I know I'm a Renaissance man. I'm a purveyor of podcaster. I'm a creator of content.
Renaissance man of rhythm.
Sorry, it's treasure of. Sorry, I actually wrote it down here for you listeners. Treasurers of talent, curators of content. I can't even read. Creators of content, curators of controversy, and purveyors of podcasting. Yeah, let's get into the show. Yeah, let's do it. Sorry for your listeners out there who are just like, I want more Corey. Give me Corey. Give me some pack. We're ramping up here, okay? This is the overture.
It's a slow burn.
It's the overture. It's the 1612 overture. Much like the 18. Yeah. What is it? Is it 1812? Overture of 1812?
Yes.
For you music fans out there. I mean, I know this is a music. Basically, our audience is basically only musicians, so they're all yelling at their iPods or their
iPods.
What is
this?
iPhones.
2006.
Their iPhones or their computers.
iPods. This guy.
Sorry, guys. I have a lot to learn.
He's dating himself.
But that's whoa. That's why we're here.
I'm only 2 years younger than you.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, we're going to get into the video of today. I'm going to get myself a real job, and we're going to talk about it while it happens, and let's have a go at it.
I'm gonna sob.
Yeah. Let's have a little sob, huh? All right. Gotta say, I love the font. Great font.
Font. It's stunning.
It's like the old West, almost like saloon font.
Today I'm gonna get myself a real job. It's time to be
this is one of my favorite shots.
Working man.
Me too. It's cute.
It's so clean.
Oh, this music
and so
thing's
him.
been fun.
And like even on his and sorry if you haven't listened to or watched this song yet. If you've gotten to this podcast, you probably have. I think we can talk over it.
Yeah.
I don't need necessarily to pause it, but that shot of him on the escalator there, the close up, it's very much like his album covers almost, right? It's very colorful. It's thought out.
Vintage inspired in a way.
He's looking up.
Yeah.
You know, much like his positive nature. You know, he's going up. Even though this may be representative of monotony in his life, of where he was at the time, in the story of the song. But when I first saw the shot, I was like, oh, I know what I'm in for here. Like, it's quality content.
Yeah.
Quality content. He also is a, what is it? Curator of controversy.
Do I see a tattoo?
Oh.
Oh, Corey.
Wait a second.
Hold the phone.
I can't zoom in.
I think there might be a little tattoo peeking out there.
I don't know.
Pulling an indie
It's
faucet on
like,
us.
why is it
Or
like...
it's a shadow.
It's like oddly weird.
Yeah.
His shirt.
Well, that shirt is hiked up on the shoulders like this.
That's how it's like made?
Yeah.
Oh. That's uggo.
Hey!
Anyway. But definitely a resurgence from the Vulf aesthetic of the like shoot it bad, make it look worse. You know? There's like it's so well lit too, the gaffer on this.
Yeah.
Love it.
So good.
No stress about what other people think.
I love the puppet.
No ticket sales, no critics, or Spotify statistics. Today I'm gonna get myself a real job. Now my insecurity got the best part of me.
I just love everything. I love the tracking shots on the dolly, switching rooms, the green screen.
Yeah.
You know, he's Corey Wong. He's got to have some green screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love the stock footage. It's great.
Today I'm gonna get myself a real job. In the family.
You know how some music videos, I want to pause it there because like there's something about like I love the music video, but this is the one part of the music video where I kind of get taken away in that I don't know if it's because I went to film school or anything, but when he's flying through the clouds and singing the song, usually like in you know like pop music videos, they'll like add extra elements to the song because of what's happening on screen, right? That's not actually in the song on like Spotify or Apple Music.
You mean you want that wind sound?
I want the wind sound. I want him like yelling. Not yelling, but like because he's
You want some
in the
VO.
air. Right, or not some VO, but like I want more
Some
air
sound
to
effects.
it. Right, it's like he's obviously lip syncing. I kind of wanted it. Like when I was seeing
You're
that
right.
part, I wanted more air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted more
Or
elements.
like a sound where like he swoops down. It could be like a whoa. Like,
right. Whoa! Right.
Like he just needs a little bit of VO and a little bit of sound effect sounds.
Right. But I'm not throwing shade at all. It's just kind of like what I felt at that.
And this is also coming from our perspective. Where like we went to like film school, so
yeah, guys, we're Hollywood elite over here at the Conscious Club podcast.
No, we're not. I'm just saying this is coming from a perspective where like we've both edited projects and we've both done like sound sync and we've both done like sound effects,
sound
and all
design,
that bullshit, sound
editing,
design,
filming.
editing,
Yeah.
and
So like, yeah, this is the perspective we're coming from. We're not coming from. Obviously, the music is solid and perfect and couldn't be changed in any which way. I'm just saying, in order to make the scene.
Also, too, can we see if there's any cloud effects that like go on him at all? Right in here.
Making food.
Right.
Oh, you mean
So
like?
I just want a little bit of mist. Just a little bit of mist on his arms.
Oh, he's layered under this one. His foot.
There's layering here.
So like, there's an attempt.
I
don't want to nitpick it too much because it's it's a lot of what we're talking about costs money too.
Yeah.
Because like, something like this looks like he spent roughly $5 to 15 grand. I don't know how much. Like I know he's not like a pop icon, so he can't spend like 250,000 on this.
Yeah.
And obviously it's not that kind of budget, but it's definitely not $20. It's definitely not $100. Like he has a crew and everything.
Editors,
effects
artists, puppet. He had a puppet maker.
Right, set dresser, all that kind of thing. So like, I feel like I appreciate the thought outedness of it. Yeah, we're creating words here on the Conscious Club podcast. We didn't know thought outedness.
Just get a real job. I spend half of my
I love also too how like he has the blue stuff on his desk, she has the yellow stuff on his desk, and he has the orange stuff, all to match their outfits.
I like that.
That cute. So it's like color coordinated.
That's awesome.
I love this too. This reminds me of Marshall too, where he has all this.
Oh, the charts and graphs. Yeah, I love that. Marshall from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh my God, it's IBM. That's the IBM logo, right? That's the IBM logo.
Where?
Right here.
It says IMB.
His dad worked for IBM.
And also the IBM type font. It was an inspiration for Vulf Mono, or for Vulf. Vulf Mono. That's what it was called. Yeah.
Isn't that kind of like it's basically the IBM logo. Like, look up the IBM logo. It looks like that, but it's switched barely.
No, I definitely, I know what the logo looks like.
And his dad worked for them,
right.
so it makes sense. That's cute.
It could just, it's interesting how that's like backwards. And it's like W. It's like flipped up and like rearranged. Good catch. Good catch. Future of work. Oh, that shot got me of the guitar and the seat.
Sobbing.
Corey's an actor, man. He can act.
Freaking actor. This guy.
Now my friends have always
I love the
said,
transitions.
This is all just in your head. Now get out of your bed. This is don't read the comment threads. This is go write a song instead. This is your real job.
I gotta pause it there. The line where it says, "Don't read the comment threads. Just make another song or whatever." It's saying so much more than just that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, don't like why alter your art on some person you'll never meet's opinion because they felt powered behind their keyboard. You know what I mean? Like one of the earlier podcasts that we got a scathing comment that made me kind of rethink how I was approaching things. And then there was some part of me where it was just like, no, I'm going to keep going. And that was on episode 10 and now we're on 24 and that was 14 episodes ago. And we're here to learn.
Has crawled back under their keyboard where they came from.
Right. And if you go and basically anybody, if you're creating art and you look at people who are giving you, BS, I don't want to take away from creative criticism because that's very useful in art. But people who are just blatantly like, you guys suck because that kind of thing. It's like, if you let that dictate, if you let that stop your art, they win.
Yeah, and also those people who are saying that are the people who would never have the nerve to create something on their own. Right.
Yeah, and if you look at all the people's profiles who talk shit,
no photos,
no content, no videos, no nothing. Meanwhile, you're purveyors of the process, podcast and process. Anyway, let's continue.
So cute.
Oh, this ending, beautiful.
I was never made to have a real job. This passion's burned inside since I was 12. Now I may not be the best, but I know that I can rest, knowing today that I don't ever need a real job.
God, man.
Full goosebumps.
I know. Yeah, you really do.
Full goosebumps all over my body.
I gotta say, we gotta give people credit here.
I'm gonna.
Oh God, there's so many people, a part of this. It's so great that Corey's kind of taking off in his own right, which is much deserved. And also recently this week he was on on Andy Frasco's podcast, which is called the World Saving Podcast, which was an interesting thing to learn. And I have some snippets that I took from their podcast to show on this podcast because we're purveyors of content. No, purveyors of podcasts, creators of content. I don't want to steal, but I do definitely want to credit that is Andy Frasco's World Saving Podcast. And, there were some interesting nuggets here that I wanted to get into that pertain to Corey learning from Jack and how he sees Jack as an artist and as a internet mogul. So let's dive into this stuff. So pack member Joseph shared this in the pack, so thank you, Joseph. I would have never found this to include this in the podcast, but I was listening to it on the way home from work and found a couple nuggets. One nugget has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but is fun to listen to.
Okay.
Another nugget is the Jack thing that I just mentioned. So let's go into the little nugget that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, just to get a little taste.
All right.
So this is Andy Frasco's World Saving Podcast with Corey Wong, number 58.
You doing okay?
I may have already played some of my cards by not even knowing what said drug.
By the way, it's sped up 1.5 times just so we can get through it quicker. Sorry.
You doing okay?
I may have already played some of my cards by not even knowing what said drug was.
Have you taken hallucinogens?
I had salvia when I was 18 because the local news reporters reported on it, and they were like, "Hey, there's this new drug in town. It's 100% legal. It's a hallucinogen. You can find it at these 3 stores in Minneapolis. It's 100% legal, but you shouldn't do it."
Why they do that?
And then I was like, "Wait, it's legal? I can buy it at any of these 3 places? Sure, like can't be that bad."
So what was your experience with it?
Well,
how'd you feel?
I will preface it by at that point I had never drank an alcohol, never had weed or anything.
Caleb too. Your friend is Caleb.
Yeah,
Caleb
yeah.
was straight edge too.
Yeah.
Was it a religious thing? Were you religious?
Yeah.
What
yeah.
were
I
you?
mean, it wasn't like hardcore. This is why, but it was just like I don't know. It didn't feel like it was the right thing for me. You know, like I had plenty of friends that were like doing weed in high school. You know,
Totally, yeah. Like that wasn't your thing. Like I didn't smoke weed until I was 19.
Yeah.
So what were you doing? Like what were you getting? Where were you getting?
I
This
was
energy?
skateboarding. I was snowboarding, playing music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a little
That's cute.
little fun snippet, and it's a great podcast. My only beef with it is that the host, Andy Frasco is a great musician, touring guy. I love it, but he's not a purveyor of podcasting. That's for sure. There were many moments in the podcast where I felt that he cut off Corey Wong to ask him a question that had nothing to do with what Corey Wong was talking about. He was asking more like detailed things about what Corey was talking about when Corey was talking about more philosophical things. So that kind of angered me in a way where I was like, Corey was going to go down a long hole and give us so many things. And then he just goes like, but what about the thing that you just said?
Right.
And then he just stops him. So if that happens during this next clip, it's because, Frasco needs some hosting practice. He says he does like 250 gigs a year. You should do more podcasts to practice that element of it. Sorry, I hate giving shade because I'm nobody. Okay, and he's Andy Frasco in tours. But yeah, his band is called Andy Frasco in the UN, by the way.
Interesting.
Yeah. But this is Corey Wong, where Andy Frasco is asking Corey Wong on Vulf and Jack and the internet in general and how Jack has influenced him.
Cool.
Let's go. Let's talk about Vulfpeck and let's talk about Jack. Like their brains about how marketing and how is he really that marketing genius that I see?
Yeah.
Like is he always one step ahead?
Yeah, and his big thing too is he really understands the internet.
Yeah.
And I always think about
What's he? What? Give me some knowledge about the internet.
See right there.
Yeah, I know.
He was just like, God damn it.
Let's talk about I see.
Yeah.
Like is he always one step ahead?
yeah, and his big thing too is he really understands the internet.
Yeah.
And I always think about
What's he? What? Give me some
Yeah,
knowledge.
and
about
I
the
always
internet.
think about
Yeah. And it was just
Cut
like,
off.
dude, let him go. He's Corey Wong. That's why he's there to talk.
Right.
Jeez.
when you see Brad Meldau play the piano, you know that he is an insane piano player.
Yeah.
When you see Chris Thiele play the mandolin, it is just
Thiele.
Thiele.
We finally know how to pronounce it.
CT. We were wrong the entire time. If
We
you go
said Thiel.
right,
Thiel.
Yeah,
How
if
did
you-
we say it? Thiel. Thiel. That's how
Chris
we said it.
Thiele. I think I said Thiele.
Thiele.
Thiele. But if you go back to the podcast that's called The Guy in Red, I forgot which number it is. It might be 10 or 13.
Butcher. This guy.
Butcher his name, but
I'm
at
so
least
sorry.
at least we
We acknowledge when we're wrong here on the Conscious Club
we
podcast.
acknowledge when we're wrong, but I'm glad that we adopted the CT name because then we're not technically wrong. We're just trying to say that guy. This is who we're talking about, and we don't know how to say his name. But now we have confirmation
Thiele.
that it's Thiele. And now that I know that, I'm still going to call him CT.
undoubtedly like that guy is a master of the mandolin.
Yeah.
When I watch Jack on the internet, that is his mandolin.
Wow.
And that's what I always think of. That's the metaphor I always use describing because he gets it. Like, and he's smart, but he's also like he gets like he knows that he's trying stuff, he's figuring stuff out, but he can kind of see the way that groups work and things, what might or might not work, and be able to take risks. But like you're saying, be
Have you learned
strategic
a
at
lot
the
from
same.
him?
Yeah.
From marketing and
Yeah.
just
And
being a
with
band
just-
leader and stuff.
Yeah, like the fun thing about the band too is like every time we get together, we've always got this storehouse of things we want to talk about or ideas. Like, hey, dude, so I was thinking about this, and we're all just spitballing, and it's like a think tank all the time. You know,
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Great. I would have gone longer, but like seriously, let the man finish his thought because there's like one thought that I really wanted to hear that he cuts off and asks another question and then they never come back to it. And I'm just like, God.
Yeah.
So it's like, I felt like, in the earlier podcast that we were doing, the thought of having a Vulf member in here and doing a show with them scared the fuck out of me. Like on the real, because like I doubt my hosting abilities and I doubt a lot of what I can bring to the table. But like seeing Andy Frasco do this and like there's points in the podcast where you're like, Corey's like, God damn
Let
it.
me talk.
Let me talk.
Let me have my moment.
So that gave me hope because maybe he's a touring musician who podcasts. I'm a podcaster who does music. So
You're the opposite.
hey.
So it makes sense why this would be what you're good at, and that might be
Right.
what he's second best at.
Right, and I think if I had a Corey Wong or a Jack Stratton or a Joe Dart in the office, or Theo Katzman, want to get the core four, Woody as well.
Woody.
Love Woody. My shirt is
Woody inspired.
for you audio listeners. I am wearing a white button-up shirt with birds on it. So that's
the fanciest he's ever looked on the podcast. Am I right?
I am. Yeah, I did up. I did my hair. You can see the gloss on it.
The gloss.
I give myself the name Footy Goss because I'm Fat Woody. And when I'm wearing the vintage red tee, I call myself Fat Stratton. I beat everybody else to the joke because that's when you grow up fat. You do that.
You have to make fun of yourself.
You have to make fun of yourself before somebody else does because then you beat them to it.
Yeah,
and then they can't really say anything mean. It's a defense mechanism and probably something I should see a therapist about.
Hey, a lot of good comedians start with self-deprivation due to bullying. So
Yeah. Deprecation. Not deprivation.
yeah. Deprecation. Apologies.
But cool things. Listen to Andy Frasco's World Saving Podcast, number 58 with Corey Wong. Interesting thing. He had an intro for his intro, which was really weird. He did an intro that had nothing to do with the show, and then he did an intro that really kind of didn't have anything to do with the show, and then he introduced Corey, and then it was the guy needs to lay off.
A hot mess.
Lay off some of the mind intoxicants. But great podcast nonetheless. We learned a lot about Corey Wong, even though we could have learned a little bit more throwing shade at you, Andy Frasco. But so that was fun. That was cool. Other Corey Wong related things that happened in the pack this week was the Wong's restaurant post by Chase, pack member Chase. Does Corey Wong's family really have a restaurant called Wong's? Now, obviously, this is somewhat of a, I think this is a genuine question because, like, among the Vulf sphere, it's kind of hard to find detailed information on all these people.
On anyone, yeah.
Right. And I think it was a genuine question, and it did not spawn very genuine responses.
Oh, no.
So we're going to go through some fun reactions to this. Just don't want to block your face.
Oh.
I noticed in prior edits that your face is blocked in some of them, so I want to make sure. But let's go through it. Trevor, it's called Buffalo Wild Wongs, and then Chase Wong Wing, a little photo here.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Ginger
little
chicken.
box of ginger
What is
chicken.
ginger chicken? It's like supposed to be orange chicken, but it's just like not.
Right. It's Andrew Santino's. Anyway, let's go on. Josh, I looked up Wong's in Minneapolis, and there's two restaurants, Ching Wong and Hop Wong. So maybe, this wasn't actually funny, but here we go. I wondered the same thing. You mean you Wongered the same thing? I'm glad somebody said it. You mean some Wong? There's more. I tried so hard to find the exact one, but every store ends up being Wong. Love that. Wong John Silvers. I love that one. Thank you, Adam. No, in interviews he says his dad is an IBM salesman. Like you mentioned earlier, and mom a receptionist and step mom, a 3M manager, a step And step? I don't get that. Maybe a step parent?
Maybe a stepmom or... And
I don't get it.
Step?
It has to be.
Yes.
Dad, mom,
probably.
and step. Okay, whatever. Yeah. Thanks for being super clear, pack member Adam.
Shade.
David tried calling, but I think I winged the Wong number. Love that.
Cute.
Mike says, no, they own a dry cleaner called Two Wongs, Make It White.
Oh my god.
I love that one. David says, or when he tries to sell you a frequent flyer credit card, Wong is a hack. Hashtag Wong is a hack. Gilio says that Theo talks...
I hate Southwest.
Talks Miles bonus cards on stage. I am a Southwest guy for life. He is a Southwest evangelist, which I...
Southwest is horrible.
We can dive into baby Vulfpeck.
Yo, Southwest, right?
Yeah, I'm a Southwest guy for life.
Hate Southwest.
For life, eh?
He's a Southwest evangelist.
Anybody interested in a 50,000 bonus mile card, let me know at the merch booth after the show.
Merch booth there.
We're also selling vinyl, but really I'd rather talk to you about the airline bonus points.
It's kind of like how Corey is about his Delta.
Right.
His Delta,
right. Yeah. It's Delta Sky.
Delta Sky Miles.
Sky Miles. And little Jack's wearing a little stuffed shirt.
Oh,
yeah,
cute.
Love that. I love the Core 4
and
before that.
And you're matching Woody.
I am matching Woody. I love seeing these old shows.
I know.
You know, it's weird. This is only 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. It's like baby Peck.
In Ann Arbor.
Right, in Ann Arbor, their home turf, and you know, just it's very humbling, and I'm really proud of where they've come.
Same.
It's really because of Jack's vision and Jack's ability to hone craft and integrate people who are the best at what they do. And without him and his contributions, Vulfpeck wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Period.
1000%.
Maybe the music would exist in some other way that was more meandering in thing, but I think the success lies in Jack's ability to bring people together for a short amount of time to make something special for the world. And the fact that it's resonating with people and taking advantage of the online, like he's basically an internet like provocateur. Yeah. Like he has single-handedly changed the how Spotify does their business model by you can't upload blank music anymore because that somehow messes. And I really don't get that. Like, why wouldn't Spotify want people listening to a silent album?
I don't know.
Like, they're still listening. They're still streaming.
Maybe they think it's cheating.
I guess because Jack got $20,000 out of it.
Yeah.
That they're like, you didn't make anything though. But I don't get it. Maybe, I don't know. But Jack is a man who takes risks, and he thinks outside the box and does things over the top.
Yeah.
Right? To where he brings it to a different level that, you know, average people or a normal person would have never thought to take it.
Yeah.
Which is great because, like, I see a little bit of that in myself, albeit very, you know, years and years away from being that effective. But it's something that I see in myself too, and I think that Jack does this in a lot of us, with a lot of us, because I think Jack single-handedly like woke me up. Like, I'm not necessarily woke, but like he awakened the possibilities of being great. But you have to work towards it. You have to practice. You have to do all these things. And I know I suck at music right now, but music was my life before I got to film school. And then film school was my life until basically now. And now I'm kind of in a multimedia space where I want to make podcasts. I want to do music. I want to make movies. I want to do a lot of artistic things, you included with your art.
It's because I don't
Moving
like
the
to
mic
lean
so it's
down. That's why.
That's fine.
Okay,
it's just like, just make sure it's not covering your face. But anyway, we're beside the topic here. But basically, Jack is. The whole point of this is I'm proud of everybody.
Yes.
Proud of where they came from. I'm proud of where they are now, and that everybody's super excited to see MSG, and to be a part of it.
Soon. It's in 14 days.
On the 28th, right? All right.
Crazy
What's
stuff.
next on the Wong's restaurant? We got a couple more here on the Wong's restaurant here. What else? Are they funny? Pack member Simon here. Wong is one of the most popular surnames in China, 43 million of them. You're going to struggle to narrow it down. On the plus side, Wong means king in Chinese. So
That's
Jack, look out. Corey attempted to open a pizza joint after giving up music for a while. He talks about it in one of his live albums.
It was obviously a joke, my dude.
Pack member Matthew. Well, I actually have the video queued up, and we can see for ourselves if
Okay.
it is a joke. So let's do this.
I'm into it.
Sorry, pardon.
Pardon. Oh my God.
The last 4 weeks. And we thought the best thing that we could do is end with a little homecoming game right here in Minneapolis.
Oh yeah.
And I'm stoked that there's 650 of you here, just 6. 650. Because the last time I played at the Fine Line, there was literally 12 people here.
12.
And at some point I thought to myself, this music thing is way too hard. I'm giving up. I'm going to get into a much easier profession. The restaurant business. So I had
Much
my
easier.
friend start helping me out. He made the logo. We printed up the hoodies. We printed up the t-shirts. We printed up the jerseys and the jackets. But I was sorely mistaken. The restaurant business is way harder than the music industry. But I inquired about rent just 3 blocks that way. Right next to First Ave. And I was going to start out my own brick and mortar. But the guy wanted $8,000 a month for rent.
$8,000 in Minneapolis?
I said, no way, man.
I mean, it's a
I can't
really
do
big
it.
city, actually. I'd be
Can't pay rent
surprised.
like that. He said,
I mean,
well,
I've
yeah,
been
it's
there,
gonna
but
be a little
$8,000?
cheaper if you go 2 floors up. I said, how am I supposed to start an 85% no pressure vegan restaurant on a second floor of a
Even though it's
building
pizza.
downtown? Not gonna happen. So he said you can start your little restaurant in space right there next to the Sprint satellite. And I did it, and it failed miserably. I only got 1 star on Yelp, G flat. Because they said the place had no atmosphere.
Ah, Sticky Theo.
Sticky Theo.
I love Corey Wong's venturing into
Spoken word.
into spoken word, into leading. You know what I mean? In that Andy Frasco podcast, number 58, he was mentioning that there was a bit of frustration with being a session player. That obviously session players you're not being brought on into a recording session for you. You're being brought on to fit, like to play a guitar part that has nothing to do with who you are. Right? They're not buying Corey Wong. They're buying a guitarist who can play well. And he, obviously did that for some years. And, and only last year was the first year that he started touring as himself. So it's like this fairly recent that, he's kind of breaking away, but still doing it, breaking away from the session recordist that he was basically, I don't want to say typecasting himself, but in a rut, you know. And when you have artistic expression that you really want to do, and you're being told not to do all that all the time, it's tough to like do it yourself and go be the front man of something. And especially that it's like guitar heavy, it's instrumental, his stuff. I mean, arguably
Except for his new song.
but largely instrumental.
Yeah.
That it's interesting how, you know, he's a constant learner. You know, you could tell that he's learning a lot from Jack, like what he was saying in the podcast, because like there's blatant things that like I don't see as a Vulf copy or a Jack copy, but I think he has the authority to do that.
Yeah.
You know, he's not like the Groove Bros or something like where they're like just trying to be Vulfy because like they're highly influenced by them.
No,
And I get that. That's fun. You can have fun doing that. But like I think he's taking it to a new level where he's his own.
Are you pressing a key on your keyboard?
I am.
I heard.
And thank you. I don't know, like over time, I think it's like the effects on the track, but it really messes with the keyboard.
Yeah.
You hear that? It's weird. Anyway, whatever. I practiced the Vulf intro, so I guess, you know,
He has it down pat
it
now.
sounds a lot better than last episode's attempt at it. But I know we get sidetracked here on the Conscious Club podcast, but that's okay. We're leaving Zone 3 and going straight into Zone 2.
This guy.
There was also Vulf Wearables.
What's that?
Pack member Lindsay gave us a great post to incite other comments to what are your most favorite Vulf wearables, both official and originals. Show us your swag, which spawned some photos from the pack here. So we have some family members. Lori posting their SF Greek shirts from 2019. Oh, great, awesome. We got Corey Wong as a 60-year-old overweight man. That's great. With the heavy metal hands.
Yeah.
We got Lindsay, missed connection. The random dude in Vietnam who recognized my Vulf hat. And we talked about Vulf for a second. Saw him later on when we were boating.
That's sad.
Right.
Misconnection. It could have been something more.
Need to go on those, what are they? Casual encounters on Craigslist? Yeah. But it's Vietnam, so. Never mind. I got Kayla with the Vulf, repping the Vulf. We got pack member Drake, who contributes a lot to the pack. I love Drake's posts. The Vulf compressor shirt, which I definitely think is an underrated shirt.
That's cool.
I want to get that.
That's cool. And Woody's
and
wearing
of course
your shirt.
and I'm wearing Woody's shirt here, or Woody's wearing my shirt. Actually, his shirt's way better. His birds are a lot bigger.
Bigger birds.
Yeah, I like the bigger birds. What else do we got here? We got pack member L. I wore this shirt. It's the blue Vulf shirt. I wore the shirt to a Wanderers gig, and the band saw it and played a Vulf song because of it. It's simple, but I love it. Great. Pack member Meredith. Jack posted the link for the shirt in the pack once, I think, and she bought it, and she even got the white shorts. Love it. That's the Vulf wearables this week. Also, we have a very heartfelt post from Miss Abby Dart, Joe Dart's mom. She posted, as our boys head to the biggest show in their career, just wanted to say thank you to the pack for all your support. Which spawned some many, and this is why we love the pack, because there's just, everybody is so great. I know like people are quick to do the 1612 bullshit and the memes and all this, and controversy and all this, but at the core of it, I think Vulfpeck fans are good people. I'm sure there's one or two of them out there who are murderers, but among the couple 100,000 people who listen to Vulfpeck, I think for the most part they're great people. And we can go through some responses to Abby's post here. So Dan was saying, thanks for creating one of the most badass bass players of today. Thank you, Mama Dart. Without you, we wouldn't be able to give our support. Can't wait to help them celebrate at MSG. Rainer says, biggest show of their career so far. Asterisk.
Interesting.
That's right. They're going to do a Live Aid. They're going to bring Live Aid back and just fucking rock the world. Back member Robert. Vulfpeck's music and their live shows changed my life. Thank you for helping them in their journey and allowing them to excel. Thank you for supporting Joe and letting him live his dream. It makes me extremely happy to see a band so dear to me go from playing small venue shows to MSG. Much love. Okay. Now, I think this comment got me really, because like much kind of like what I was saying earlier. It's like Vulfpeck's music and their live shows completely changed my life. I think that's very true for me as well. Like there was a point in my life where, you know, I was quite complacent. I was working at BuzzFeed, just being a cog in a wheel, just doing the same things every day, doing boring things, and I didn't really have any drive to create art or anything. And then I found Vulfpeck. One day I came across the Corey Wong video, and just because I went to film school, I really resonated with the script that was on screen, that was scrolling on screen, like fade in, Jack, you know, it's like, it's basically like a script. And that really resonated with me because of my perspective on things.
Right.
And then I showed Daniel, who's been on the show many times, if you look at or listen to earlier podcasts, and he loved it. Then I showed it to Aiden. He loved it. And Aiden was, who's also been on the show before. But the point of it is, it sparked a innate sense of possibility in me, because I used to play in bands before I went to college and things like that, and we all got jobs and went to college and broke up, you know, and I got a lot of therapy from that. It was very therapeutic to play, you know, jam, you know, with your friends and stuff, and get all that kind of thing, those things out of you. And it was like the first time I was like, wow, I really feel like I need more of that in my life. So, you know, I'm not trying to copy Vulf and just make Vulf music. I'm just trying to capitalize on what I do best, which is multimedia and video and audio and that kind of stuff. And what better to do that than to put it all together into a podcast? And basically it's thanks all to Jack. Like, I know, like, seriously, we're not successful. We're not even talking to Vulfpeck. This is just us being us. You know, and we love Vulfpeck so much that we spend, you know, a day out of our week talking about it at length, so that you guys may get something out of it. And hopefully I want to spawn more things from this. So Jack, if you're listening, you're probably not. You're probably way too busy creating art. But I want to say thank you personally, because, you know, without you, I'd probably still be complacent indie that doesn't produce shit. So you produced MC Lynchpin. Look it up. Spotify, Apple Music.
Oh my God.
Eric on the pack says, am I a terrible person for missing my cousin's wedding for this show? Because I'm definitely choosing the funk. So that's great, Eric. I probably would have done the same thing. Danny Wood coming through. You must be proud. You must be a proud mama. We've all been blessed by your son's talents. Thank you so much for raising such an amazing human.
Love it.
Love you, Danny. Our biggest fan. Abby's response to everybody. And Danny would too. Thank you, Danny. She says, and all the others here that have posted such nice comments, all I can say about Joe and other bass players who, as small children, demonstrated real interest coupled with talent, is to do everything you can to keep their interests alive. In my case, it meant staying up until 2 a.m. when preteen Joe would have gigs at local venues, and then then take him and my other 4 kids to school the next morning. Those years were a blur, but in hindsight, I think it's what it takes to grow a musician. Words of wisdom here from Abby Dart. You know, my mom's a musician, and she basically helped me, you know, grow into a, you know, a musician. She would always, you know, she would make me pay half for all the instruments I got, but she would still pay the other half, you know, so she would make it available to do that, and kind of, you know, I resonate with this, because like my mom does. Your mom. Yeah, my mom loves that.
She came to all your gigs and stuff, and all your stuff like that.
All the gigs they could come to, they did, and if they couldn't come to, they made sure I got there. Yeah, you know, so, which I hugely appreciate. Mommy and Daddy, I love you. What's here? Joshua says here, I know one other mother who has this approach, and her son has also made a successful career out of music. Thank you for caring for Joe and encouraging him to play his ass off no matter how hard life hits him. You are a very special person.
Love that.
Love it, love it, love
so
it.
Sweet. So sweet.
Yeah. Well, I think this comes to the participation
portion of our show,
where I will be learning the
reenacting.
reenacting and learning along with Jack the animal spirits stomp. So let's start this
All
up
right.
and see what we can do here.
Is he wearing a Hebrew shirt?
Yes. Yiddish cup. It's his dad's band.
Aw.
Pattern to start animal spirits.
This is very hard, but the stomps is where it happens.
If you can get that done by September 28th, everyone in the crowd will do it together. And
All right, let's learn together, guys.
shock the world.
He's gonna teach you how to do it.
2 weeks of practice.
Okay, ready.
You can work up to it. Meaning like, just do that.
Oh no. Oh no, I'm so bad.
Like each day, add another beat.
Each day.
They have to get together on the first beat. And the foot pattern
See, he's a drummer, so he's good at like the different
starts on
beats.
another foot each time around.
Oh, one is on a different foot each time.
Gives it a nice kind of two time three phrase. And you're gonna feel it
It's so hard.
here,
In your hips.
but then you're gonna get over that.
Where did he post this?
On Vulfpeck Facebook group.
Oh, really?
Or on Vulfpeck Facebook. All right, let's learn it. Let's try and learn it.
Just
Okay.
do that. And get to
Okay.
like each day, add another beat. They only hit together on the first beat.
Fuck.
And the foot pattern starts on another foot each time around.
Oh, so the foot isn't two. The first one is two claps, but one stomp. So,
Two time three phrase.
Yeah,
but
And you're gonna
Stomp.
feel it
it's one.
here.
no.
I can't do the two at the same time. I can either
Then you
clap
get over
or
that.
stomp. I can't clap and stomp.
Well, with that attitude, you sure can't. That's for sure.
Hey!
Let me try it. Okay. Ah. I can't do it. I do like the left leg twice at the third time. we gotta try this one more time here.
Like each day, add another beat. They only hit together on the first beat. And the foot pattern starts on another foot each time around. Which gives it a nice kind of two time through phrase. And you're gonna feel it here. But then you're gonna get over that.
Oh, man.
I love Jack Stratton so much, but then you're gonna get over
This
that.
is his cabin.
I don't know, guys.
Oh, man. It's hard.
Yeah, it is very hard, but great. But much like the comments here, greatness demands greatness. Okay,
Accurate.
this is what makes Jack Stratton Jack Stratton.
So
Yeah.
true.
Am I off screen? I can't really see my face.
No, you're on screen.
Okay. And then listen here, Jack. I can never get these claps right. I certainly am not getting it right now. That there are stomps too.
I know.
Shit. Was
Relatable.
that pack member Tori on that? No.
Hey,
That was
Tara.
that was a little bit of shade.
My name's Tara.
No, I was saying as if it was
I
you.
know
I
what you're saying, but-
Explaining the jokes, right? Yeah.
I am scared.
I got some. You know, that clamp and stomp is my spirit animal.
No.
Also, we're going into the notable mentions part of the podcast here. This is the stuff in the pack that we've notable mention.
Oh.
Sorry. Sorry, my thing got like disconnected.
There it is.
Oh yeah. Notable mentions. Love you. And the delay on this track is now an hour in, so that's why it's all messed up. Sorry. All right, notable mentions. Things to learn this week. Notable mentions. This part of the podcast is where we take. It's not necessarily funny things that happen because that's where funny funk happens. But notable mentions is things that deserve a nod. Things that we can learn about Vulfpeck, and just fun stuff in general that is cool to know about the Vulf sphere. So Teen Town. I don't know if you know, Tori.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Teen Town is the inspiration for Dean Town.
Oh, interesting. I don't know anything about this.
So pack member Austin posted, I just realized, is Dean Town a take on Weather Report's Teen Town? And Tucker says yes. Also,
and this guy knows because...
What? Which
Tucker.
Guy?
How does Tucker
I know. That's a very dismissive... Yes. By the way, why are you here, you fuck? Yeah. Tucker... lighten up.
Tucker, you fucker.
So, Tucker, you fucker. That's great. I love that. But let's dive into it. I don't know if I'll probably get yes, I'm gonna definitely get flagged for this, but you'll definitely hear the bass part where.
Can we speed it up, maybe?
That's actually a good idea.
Let's just speed it up a titch and
1.25.
Oh,
very
yeah,
Dean Town.
I know what you mean. I see that.
But yeah, Weather Report's Teen
Next
Town.
thing up was Corey St. Paul. Love that.
Right. I love that. Yeah.
Corey's right next.
Well, we're on the TCCP YouTube thing, so that makes total sense. Total sense. One more comment on that. Pack member Max says, it's like they heard Teen Town exactly once and then tried to play it front to back. Love that. Good things to learn about Jack and Vulfpeck this week. And that's one of the things I love so much about Vulfpeck and Jack in general is that just like the term animal spirits is a Keynesian economics term, there's just things in plain sight that you have no clue are Easter eggs.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a never-ending treasure trove of
treasure trove. We're treasurers of talent. Anyway, yeah. Curators of content.
But no, yeah, it's a never-ending treasure hunt for these Vulf Easter eggs that they leave everywhere.
Right. Next thing in notable mentions, pack member Fernando.
Oh, yes, I did see this one.
Went to the Greek Theater in LA last night, and look who's on the Wall of Fame now. Best legs on the wall for sure. It's Mr. Jack Stratton. That's right. And
I want somebody to Photoshop out the shorts.
Oh.
So he's just perfectly covered here, and it looks like he's wearing no pants.
Yeah. Also, Johnny Depp. Yeah, this spurred some comments.
I'm angry at him lately, so.
And I had no clue that he played guitar and also is in a band called Hollywood Vampires.
Yes, he is. I know, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. I mean, he's good, but come on, dude.
I'm mad at him.
This is Johnny Depp playing guitar for Dio, I think, or some artist. I mean, he's not bad. It's just like...
Why?
It's like, stay in your lane, bro. You know what I mean?
He actually was a musician before he was an actor, though.
All right.
I have to say. That's my only thing. But
yeah, Hollywood Vampires is an American rock supergroup formed in 2015 by Alice Cooper. That's what Alice Cooper, Johnny Depp, and Joe Perry to honor the music of the rock stars who died from excess in the 1970s. I'm really surprised Johnny Depp hasn't died from excess, to be honest.
Same, because he's the king of excess, this guy. His last name should be Wong.
The
king!
The king. It's Johnny Wong XS. Also, interesting thing that happened in the pack, which spawned a little bit of thinking on my part, a little bit of similarities here. So Chris Agar, I think.
Agar?
I think it's Agar.
Okay.
I think Agar would be 2 G's. Right?
Got that double G.
Chris Agar. I think
Got the double G, good.
Got that double G, good. Mr. Chris Agar posted, and I'm saying his last name because he's an artist too, so he can say his name. Hey Vulfpackers, I'm launching a new project some of you might be interested in, like a blend of Jack White and David Byrne, not low volume. Oh, I know we have music fans of all types in this group who support independent music. Check out my Kickstarter. Meanwhile, enjoy these pictures of Baby Me and Baby Stratton from back in the Groove Spoon and Klezmer days. And I'll see you soon at MSG.
Wait, is he opening for them at MSG?
No, he's going.
Oh, he's going. I was like, fuck.
Fool's going. He's not in it. So this led me to think back to music history. And I think there's a similarity between... I'm just going to go out there and say it.
Okay.
Chris Agar is the Pete Best of Vulfpeck. Do you know who Pete Best is? Are you familiar? A little bit familiar?
A little bit, yeah.
So... our audience is obviously musicians. When I say that, I hope people giggle. I'm not trying to throw too much shade on it, but I'm just throwing similarities here, okay? So supposedly Chris Agar was the bassist for Groove Spoon.
Okay.
And supposedly, I think it was in the Third Story podcast with Jack Stratton where Jack was saying that Chris left the band to go on a cruise ship tour in order to I know, right? You would leave Jack Stratton to go play on a cruise ship? Come on, dude. But then Jack formed Vulfpeck without him and got Joe Dart because Theo, I think, was it Theo who mentioned Joe Dart to Jack? Anyway, Jack was in need of a bassist and Theo recommended Joe Dart even though he was much younger. And he turned out to be one of the best bass players in the United States for his age group. And basically all age groups, I want to say. Like, I hate that there's that qualifier for him.
Because, to be honest, he's not that young anymore. He's
28. Yeah, anyway.
So anyway, he's just great in general.
So here's my little shade. Chris Agar is the Pete Best of Vulfpeck.
I mean, I can't say you're not wrong. To be honest, because, like... he missed out on one of the biggest opportunities of a lifetime by just going on that trip.
Right.
And to be honest, once you have Joe Dart, it's kind of like when you go black, you never go back. It's like once you go Joe,
100%.
Once you go correct. Joe, you never go Chris. You know what I mean?
I hear 100% of that.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, I feel really bad for him because now like he's buying tickets to go to their MSG show. Like that could have been him. But would Vulfpeck even be a thing without Joe Dart?
I doubt it.
I doubt it. So it's like, in order for Vulfpeck to happen, there has to be some kind of sacrifice along the way.
You are 100% correct. There's some pictures with Chris and let me see. So yeah, there's Chris Agar, Jack Stratton, and I think his name is Tomo Fujita, who's a great guitarist as well, in his own right. Interesting. And now, he's starting a Kickstarter to get $5,000 to record an album with his stuff, and you can smell the desperation from a mile away. So, sorry.
Shots.
I doubt Chris will ever hear this, and if you do,
fired on the Contra Club podcast.
I mean, that cruise ship cost you your life, dude. Sorry, bro.
Who does this guy think he is? Dave Kaz going on this?
I know. Yeah. Who do you think you are, Dave Kaz? Huh?
Going on this cruise ship,
Hey, Kaz. Can I come on the ship with you, huh?
Who does this guy think he is going on a cruise ship playing music? Dave Kaz, This guy.
Oh, sorry,
who
Chris.
Plays on a cruise ship when he's like 20.
Yeah, not even old enough to
19.
drink.
Yeah. This guy.
There's so much going on with that guy. So I don't even want to talk about it. I kind of want to just drop it.
Yeah.
Because who talks about Pete Best?
Drop
you know what I mean?
Drop it like it's Chris.
Let's drop it like it's fucking Chris here. Pack member Vinicius.
Love that name.
Surfaced again in the pack. It says, you may be cool, but will never be as cool as D'Angelo playing a Bill Withers song, having Eric Clapton, Marcus Miller, Steve Gadd, and David Sanborn as his backup band. Epic.
That's crazy.
So I looked on here, and there was no copyright in the description.
Okay.
So
We'll
maybe we can get away with it, and if so, I'll cut it from the
He's
show.
one of the most soulful and talented musicians around. Doing the Bill Withers tune, Use Me. Please welcome D'Angelo.
The look on the guy's face when he introduced him made me think he does not have sex with many women.
I know.
And D'Angelo has all the sex. With all the
1000%.
women. That's right.
Look at him. Into it.
Just fresh out of eating some box, you know what I mean?
Oh
Just
my
like,
God.
sorry, this is an explicit podcast today. Sorry.
That's stank face, though. That. Gotta have that shake.
You know, I really think the stank face has a lot to do with how you play.
Yeah.
If you don't have that stank face, you're not feeling it.
True.
And if you
You're not
force
into your
the
own
stank
shit.
face, it's worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works against you. The music is the source of the stank, not the other way around.
100%.
Right. I love it, guys. Well, if you want to hear more of that, just look up "Use
Yeah,
Me"
that's
by D'Angelo and Marcus Miller, Steve Gadd, and David Sanborn.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll be right back. Well, after I change the battery. We are back. Thank you, guys. I do want to apologize for last episode. I forgot to cut out the part where I changed the battery.
Really?
So it's just us walking around for 3 minutes.
No.
So I apologize for you audio listeners and video
Slipping
listeners.
on that edit, bro.
Yeah, I'm slipping on the edit, you know. But this is what the show is about. We are here to learn. We are here to get better.
Apologize.
Greatness demands greatness, and I want to say that I recognize my flaws and I'm willing to work on them. Humble here on the Conscious Club podcast.
Be humble.
I'm very arrogant about my humbleness, my
True.
humility.
You bring up how
Humble I am all the time. Hey guys, who's the humblest guy in the room here, huh?
pretty humble, huh?
Did I say the quote that I wanted to say?
No.
Oh, I wrote a note for myself that I didn't look at the beginning of the show, and I thought I'd bring it up now. I think I wanted to start doing quotes from funk musicians.
Interesting. Okay, I like that.
So this is a quote by Thelonious Monk. A genius is the one most like himself. Thelonious Monk.
And that has a lot to do with what Corey was talking about.
Right. I think no, because like
in the podcast.
this can spur a lot of conversation because, and even like what I'm saying, like the you know, a lot of what they were saying on the World Saving podcast with Andy Frasco was that, you know, when something is successful, there are copycats. Like even in crimes, like if I think he was saying like there was this one island somewhere that nobody had committed suicide ever in the history there. One person started doing it, and then one person did it, and then
Everyone did it.
Everyone started doing it, and then the same goes for somewhat of successful music as well.
Yeah.
Because like how many times a week do you see?
Hey guys, listen to my band and the Vulfpeck. It just sounds like Town.
Yeah, and it's like Vulfie.
It's like, dude, just
like
do you.
Or the Groove Bros, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I get
Not shitting on the Groove Bros, but shitting on the Groove.
Not shitting on the Groove Bros, but shitting on the Groove Bros. But there's a difference between having fun and jamming and doing what you want to do and having fun doing that. That's fine. But the second you try to make it a business and try to market it, you're going to fail, period. Because it's already worked somewhere else, and there's no originality there.
No, yeah.
You know? So yeah.
Yeah.
I think hey, Danny Wood, in the comment section, let me know if you resonate with these quotes and want to continue doing the quotes, because he'll definitely let me know.
Tell us if you like the quotes, Danny. And if Danny says we'll do the quotes, do the quotes.
We'll do the quotes. Yeah, it's up to you. And that's why I like, he mentioned on the comment section that unlike a lot of other podcasts, this podcast...
it's more interactive.
It's more interactive. It relies on audience participation, which I think is a great point. Thank you, Danny Wood.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we want it to be. We want it to be a lot like the pack, like where people can leave comments below and talk to each other and give their opinions because, that's what we love about the pack. So
right. And last notable mention here. Actually, there's two more. I'll do one more after this because I gathered too much for this podcast.
Okay.
I always like to have more than less. And then once you go through and talk about certain things, there's other clips that I go, it's not. Yeah, we've covered other better things.
No worries.
But the poster pleat, I call this the poster pleat. So pack member Sebastian, hey MSG pack pals. Strange request, and also mods delete if this is inappropriate. I'm coming across from Berlin for the show, and as I did the screen print and t-shirt designs. Ooh, you just wait.
Wow.
That's right. But both of my accommodation plans have fallen through, and I'm potentially a bit stranded. If anyone else is traveling over, or somebody might have a room or sofa to rent out in NYC, I'd love to know. And there'd be an artist proof of the poster in it for you.
Oh, that's cool.
Attached is the section of the poster I thought you guys might enjoy.
It's very cool.
So I'm very interested to see the rest of the poster. I love the little
beautiful. Great word.
Sebastian, we love you. And if Jack gets in touch with you to do work with Vulfpeck, you are a good guy and have a standard of quality that goes above most.
I'm sure somebody will be able to help him. I mean,
that's where the pack comes in. That's what I'm saying about this audience that listens and that loves Vulfpeck is the best type of audience, because this is where the real humans show up and not just the trolls. So there's a bunch of people vouching for this guy. So it's Connell, I think his name is. I know this guy. He's really fucking nice. A little bit. I don't know if I assume Sebastian is way nicer than Connell here.
I hope so. He's really fucking nice.
He's really fucking nice, that guy. He really brings the best out of you. You know?
He's bloody lovely.
Sophie says.
Yeah, pack member Sophie. He's bloody lovely. Can totally vouch for this. Hope the pack can help you, Seb. And then Seb, I'll take that. Pack member Rob, I'll put you up, buddy. Love that. Catherine, the guy is so hot and funny and gives really good neck massages.
Whoa.
Give him a room, eh? Oh, this is definitely in a British accent. This guy is hot and funny and gives really good neck massages. Give him a room, eh?
You missed the guys.
Massages, guys.
Oh, so this guy is so hot and lovely and gives really good neck massages, guys. Give him a room, eh? Give him a room, eh? Hey, give him a room, eh?
We're finally getting back at our neighbor who's doing construction all morning.
Right, yeah. Like, who's this British fuck next door? Like, pack member Davian, I vouch for this lad, and I'm the reason he's out of a spot.
Oh, that's probably not a good thing.
Native New Yorker who can't make it back in time. What kind of an asshole just doesn't put the key somewhere for him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, go to a gym and rent go to like a bus station, rent a locker, and put the key in there, and tell the Seb to fucking go over there, get the key, and go to your apartment. You a-hole.
Or just get like one of those little rocks that has like the space in it, and then you just
right, like in Horrible Bosses where they try to throw it through the window. Right? Yeah. Come on, pack member Damien, you are a shitty friend.
Get your shit together, Damien.
Right. Damien, get your shit together. Back when we're Alvis, love the name. I also vouch for him. A total gem and obviously very talented. Love that. Tammy, let me know if you still need the couch. Might be available to help out. I just gotta say, the reason why I wanted to highlight this is that the pack
comes through when
the pressure is when the pressure rises.
Correct.
The pack members are there for you.
Yep.
And hopefully they'll be there for us and give us some slack when we're wrong.
Hopefully.
That's what we hope.
I don't think they know we exist yet, so we'll see. Except for Danny.
Right. Danny, we love you. Keep
Oh my God! We apologize.
I'm sorry, Danny. We love you, and we love your engagement, and we will get you on the show when the moment is right.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
I have some plans.
Oh.
I have some thoughts to integrate Danny into the show somehow, because that's what we do. You know, it's a podcast about the Vulfpeck, about the people, about about everything about Vulf, and what better to bring more people who have different perspectives about what we're talking about on the show. So, Danny, look out for some DMs sliding in.
Oh my God! And he's gonna slide into your DMs.
Tori is jealous.
1000%. Questioning our entire relationship.
All right, to round out notable mentions before we dive into Funny Funk, it is
Oh my God!
the Gunhild Carling family.
This is cute already. They're really cute.
It's 4 blonde women, probably in the same family, and their mom. All right.
They all look identical too.
They do look
Like
identical.
the same haircut. All of them.
Ah, the mom could shred. I love how the mom has the most cleavage.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, that's how you make 3 other kids, right? You get down to business.
Yes.
Carling. What's up, Carling family?
They're adorable.
I love kind of how down in the dumps the trombone player is. He's like, yeah, I'm playing the trombone.
She's like, I told mom not to wear that shirt.
Right, soprano sax is just like feeling it. Is that soprano? Is that soprano sax? I'm learning here on the Couch Club podcast. Gotta say the Carling family is a gem. It goes on for another 3 minutes, but
I love
good thing to
this
mention.
style of music with banjo. It sounds really good.
Yeah, you need that rhythm with that kind of music because like it's like a good take on jazz guitar, right? Because like the jazz guitar of old and of still is basically the driver of the rhythm and the beat, and that's that, you know, I played in jazz band in middle school, and I quickly figured out that you're just like the jet.
Yeah, it's pretty boring, and then you have like the little thingies.
Yeah, and I was like, I want to shred, yo.
Yeah.
Like not necessarily, you know, be the front man, but like I want to shred. You know, I just want to be like it's. I love quarter notes. Quarter note.
Don't get him started on quarter notes,
dude. Jack, if you're listening, when I meet you, I'm going to pitch you the Holy Trinities quarter note.
Holy Trinity.
We need a new episode of the Holy Trinities, and it needs to be on the quarter note.
Yeah.
Because I think that is something that is underrated, undervalued, and
highly utilized in Vulfpeck music, though.
Utilized.
Oh my God, that was so creepy.
Like
people felt the air hit their face. Like your breath, your peanut butter breath, literally just smacked them in their faces.
The mic just disintegrates. I love how
Ash, just like all the key rates shipments.
Right, yeah, to Ash. I love how we round out notable mentions with a great laugh, which will round us, which will bring us into
right into funny funk.
Right into funny funk. Not too many things here.
Zone 2.
Zone 2, we're coming in hot. I think we're going to round out. It's going to be a great funny funk segment for you guys. So what I think here, Tori, you sent this to me. It was
did I?
Corey Wong's Insta of Sunny T. So words of wisdom from Sunny T here. Who was, I think, Prince's bass player? Correct me if I'm wrong, Danny. Thank you.
Practice.
This is so this is Sunny T answering a question that's on screen.
Prince's guitar teacher.
Oh, Prince's first
Holy
guitar
shit.
teacher. That's who it was. Okay. So Sunny, how do I get better at guitar? Words of wisdom from Sunny T, Prince's first guitar teacher. How do you do it? Let's do it.
Practice.
That's every guitar teacher ever.
That's it.
That's it.
I love
Yes.
it. I love seeing.
Dude, that's such a fat sound. It's just like.
That guy looks over
the right
like.
amount of bottom and
Love the
top.
way that guy looked at him.
The drummer. Was that Corey speaking? Because it sounded like it was V early in the morning.
No, it's not him talking. It's
Are you sure? Let's listen.
Dude, that's such a fat sound.
No, it's not.
It's just like
No, he said I know it. He's the other guy.
kind of has the right amount of bottom and top.
Yeah, that's not
He's
Corey.
the other guy that says the thing after the first thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either it was early or that guy smokes.
I mean, it's the music industry, so I'm gonna say cigarettes.
Yeah. I mean, what else is there to do in Minneapolis? To be honest.
Gotta stay warm somehow, huh, kids?
Yeah. Right.
Trust me, my dad is fucking 30 years strong out there in Michigan. Tell you
Smoking.
that. Keeping warm in them winters.
Is it really? Doesn't it make you colder because you have to go outside?
You know, that's a fair point.
That's a fair point, right?
Yeah. My dad does have a heated garage though, so he stays pretty toasty.
But also, when like speaking of cigarettes, is like, oh, I'm so stressed. That's why I smoke. It's like, haven't you ever seen all of the studies that say cigarettes cause stress?
I know.
You fucks. I say that as an ex-smoker, and I quit smoking this year.
I know. And his e-cigs.
And e-cigs. And I feel a lot better. I feel great.
Really addictive.
I'm not hacking all the time. I do partake in a little THC here and there, but so glad I got off of that. I know we were driving back from Vegas, and I was trying to find an e-cig, and no place had one, and I was fiending. And I guess that was kind of like a little indicator of going like, well, it's probably better if you quit this stuff. Huh? Yeah. I think my spirit animal was like,
Hey, why don't you quit this thing, huh? Hey, maybe it's time to quit, huh?
The tiny Sebastian Maniscalco just
right.
Quit these things.
We got company.
Hey, we got
Company, huh?
company.
That's one of his.
Nobody's got company anymore.
Yeah. Nobody's got company anymore.
That's company. Remember the cake that your mama keep on the thing?
Yeah.
Nobody had
It's
it.
not for you.
It's
for
for
company. We're
apologize.
butchering a very good
Santa
comedians.
poutine,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. But this is Funny Funk. And Sunny T rounded it out. Wasn't too funny, but it was funny. We're going to get funnier as the segment progresses. So let's go on to the next one. I forgot to take out his name here. But pack member Will. Vulfpeck doesn't make jazz music. They just make music with a jazz vibe.
That's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen this car before.
It's a Pontiac vibe.
I know, but is the jazz thing actually on the car, or is that added?
No, that's on the car. It was added by the person who purchased the car. You know how like here in LA you see a lot of them.
Jason Lee Bruns, basically, this guy.
Yeah. Pack member Will is Jason Lee Bruns. Saw this in another group, and it is a picture of Joe Dart with his hand high up on the neck of the guitar, and the caption says, "Can somebody politely tell this bassist to play lower notes on the bass? I mean, it's a bass, for gosh sakes."
Rude.
Whoa. You can tell that hashtag pickup jazz. They don't know who Vulfpeck is.
That's the hashtag. It's the guy underneath. It's Hi Matt or Watt. Hi period Watt is the person. That's the hashtag. Pickup jazz is the hashtag.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The people in pickup jazz don't know
they don't.
Vulfpeck.
Yeah. They definitely don't know.
But Hi Watt did.
Hi Watt definitely does.
You know, you can't. Come on, slamming Vulfpeck. That's what we do. You have no right. You have no right to do
with love
that.
over here. That's what we do. Slam with love.
And then pack member Connor brings in some quality replies here, or a quality reply, and the high notes are there. Why not play them?
Yeah.
Pack member Todd, pay attention. He does. Love that.
I love the what even is a bass clef.
What even is a bass clef?
Same. I could never figure out how to read the bass clef, to be honest.
So here's another. So this was posted by John in the Pack, and it is the caption is "When I think about this group." This is when I think about the Vulfpeck.
Strutting
here. Feeling himself.
Love him. He's cute.
Also, some pack member found a young Jack Stratton.
Oh my god.
Without his white shorts. Everybody else got white shorts on?
Those girl shorts.
Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. This is a young boy, or young kids dancing on a stage, and the kid is wearing a red shirt, but with black pants, but everybody else has white shorts on. Look at that. It's it's a young Jack Stratton.
That's really cute.
it's cute. Thought it would be funnier. Thought it'd be funny.
Cute. It's more cute.
Then we have Kevin Yuliawan
That's a name.
on the Darwin Derby. Let's hear it.
Aw. John Mayer shirt. Questionable.
Questionable.
Aw.
I thought it'd be funnier too, but because I think the caption was when you can't sing as high as Theo, you just go low.
Yeah. 1000%.
I love how it wasn't the full song. I love how it was just like just what you need.
Which is good.
Just what you need.
I like short and sweet.
All right, now I think this will be the funniest part of Funny Fun.
Okay.
It is a band trying to cover the song "Come Together" by the Beatles. So let's try this. And I think the location where they chose to play this is the best place they could have chosen.
What is... Oh, they're in a garage.
Oh, it is a garage.
Stop.
There is no regard for rhythm whatsoever,
Zero
or
regard.
time, or anything with these guys.
The worst place you could record, too.
Best mic, worst song ever. He's got one of those ribbon mics.
I love how they put the productions thing on the side,
Yeah.
too. Like, you're proud of this
yeah,
recording.
yeah. If you want to buy our services for your video,
Yeah.
this is a great indicator on the quality that we're bringing to the
If
table.
you want to record in the basement of a prison, we're here for you.
We're here for you.
Jesus Christ. He's feeling himself, though.
I gotta say, the drummer really holds the sticks in a very like unnerving limp way. Like it's very limp. Like look at his thumb and fingers when he's like it's just like it's like he's holding a sausage.
Yeah.
And he's like holding a wet sausage or something.
Whoa. Stop. They're not even tuned. This is horrible.
Gotta say, I do appreciate the drum and bass, but the third guy and the singer,
the singer especially is.
It's everything about this video. It's the location, and the lead singer. I put in air quotes here.
Could not
everything
have bigger
about
air
this,
quotes.
right? And also the Elvis mic that the bass player has. Gotta say, like they both have like $10 microphones, but the bass player who doesn't sing has a $250 guy.
Let's give the guy who doesn't say anything or sing the nicest mic.
Right.
This is bullshit. Whoa! Stop.
The communication between the drum and bass player, they're like, well, we need to rethink our front man. We need a more Jackian man.
Anything in.
Anything in.
Ew. What is he playing? I mean, I feel like the bass is just probably the best, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone?
Oh, definitely.
He's really the only one with any sense of pitch and rhythm.
Yeah, and he's definitely, of all the three, he definitely has the face of like...
An actual bass player?
I regret being here.
regret being, yeah.
Yeah, I regret doing this or calling these guys over. Because it's obviously that he got them together.
Yeah.
Or was it that... Who got who together in this? You think it was the singer because of his blatant...
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we gotta come together this week. You know what I mean? Let's
Yeah.
come over to my prison yard and we'll jam out. And the acoustics are great. I play acoustic guitar in there every week and it sounds beautiful.
Yeah. I think it's probably the singer that unfortunately created this collective, and it's not okay.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that was Funkso, and
Not funky.
not funky.
I must tell you.
What are you guys? The Scary Pockets over here? Jeez. And this is Anderson Gomez Productions. Wait. Producios. I think that's Portuguese.
That must be.
Because the C has a little thing on it.
Yeah.
I think it's Portuguese.
The
Wow.
C must be.
Mr. Gomez.
With an S, we should say.
Yeah.
There's better people to film.
I really have. I'm at a loss for words. I don't even know what to do with that. That was the Conscious Club podcast 24 for you guys.
The Conscious Club podcast.
I don't want to take too far out of your day. I know, you got stuff to do, and we got stuff to do too, like edit this damn podcast together. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know this is live radio, so you did tune in. And yeah, we love you. This is the Conscious Club podcast. To reiterate, let's hit some things home here.
He's taking us back here.
Right. So the thing we learned. Sorry, I'm a little bubbly here.
A little gassy.
A genius is the one most like himself, Thelonious Monk. Also, other things we learned here, that we are treasurers of talent, curators of controversy, creators of content, and purveyors of podcasts. That is TCCP for all y'all, the Conscious Club podcast. Thank y'all for listening, and we will see you next week.
See you guys.
That was our audience.
The crickets, you mean?
Yeah. See you guys. See you next week.
So accurate.
Today I'm gonna get myself a real job.
Last piece of toast.
It's time to be a standard working man.
Corey is my queen.
Oh, this music thing's been fun, but I think that I am done. Today I'm gonna
Great
get
show.
myself a real job. I'm contemplating.
Hey everybody, Indy here, and thanks for watching the Conscious Club podcast. Please be advised that this is a fan-made podcast. Even though we would love nothing more, we are not associated with Vulfpeck, Vulf Records LLC, Vulf Productions Inc, or any associated acts tied to the greater Vulf umbrella. We do this show out of love, not for monetary gain. We simply wanted an outlet like this to exist, so we made it happen, and I hope that's okay. Thanks for watching, and always remember, fee fi fo fum.